I am not shaving, Omar. I'm not shaving. What's up, guys? Sorry, I'm in the middle of my workday, and I got back from New York last night late. So I would have just taken some extra time, but I couldn't because I took the last 2 days off. I think you can probably hear that dinging in the background. That's my boss. So they've been asking me to do stuff, so I had to step away for a second. But I was in New York yesterday for the Lively and Baldoni hearing, and then I saw some stuff had come out through the JFC accounts on the Laura Owens stuff while I was there, and I was just there was no way I could juggle all that. So I didn't get to pay attention to it. And then I saw this come up. Somebody messaged me or tagged me in it today. A couple people did. And I was like, oh, okay, I wonder what this is. It's probably just another kind of technical document. And then I started reading it, and I was like, what the fuck is this? So yeah, let me see if I can pull this off for a minute. Face cam. I have got to fix something with this, the way I have my desk set up now, because this whole area of my house, there's windows behind me, and it looks kind of weird and lighting or blaring or whatever. So yeah, but let me get into some of this stuff with you guys. I don't have too long because I can only have a certain amount of time for my break from work today, which is why I'm probably going to come back either tomorrow night or Sunday night to go over this more thoroughly. I am thinking about doing some stuff with other people. I've mostly been covering this case specifically just me because, there's just a lot of weird stuff that happens with people in the community. So I'd kind of just stream by myself on this case mostly, but I'm thinking about it. We might do another one like that. We'll see. And I still owe you guys a stream in a dress because I did tell people if we raised a certain number for Mike's case that I would wear a fucking ball gown. So I do have to do that. I'm going to probably at the end of this month we'll do that. So that gives me another week to find a ball gown, I guess. I could just borrow one from Omar's. No, just from Omar, I guess. I was going to say Omar's mom, but I could just borrow one from Omar. Let's see. But thank you for the various JFC accounts who have been tagging me and stuff and sending me stuff. Also, I don't really use Discord anymore. I'm not in any group Discord servers, but I do have somebody who messages me links to stuff on Discord who has been very helpful. So I appreciate that. It helps me keep up with stuff. Otherwise, I just I miss stuff. But give me 1 second. So yeah, I'll consider doing another big group stream this weekend. Maybe we could multicast, do something that'll raise money for one of the, I don't know if they have any fundraisers left. If they do, then we'll do that, but we'll see. Why don't I pull this up first? Okay. Nope, I'm not trying to listen to myself here. Hang on. Get that. Okay, my boss just pinged me again, so just give me 1 minute to look at that, and then I'll come right back. So sorry. I guess you could start reading this page if you really want to. Okay, it's all good. I have limited time, but it's all good. So, this document, the first thing I want to point out to you, though, is the first thing that made me really freak out, because we all kind of know this stuff. With the HCG, it was she was obviously artificially raising her HCG levels, right? But I never thought she would get caught for a lot of this stuff. So just reading it in all of this investigation notes, and then the fact that she's still putting out articles on that faux website, and then now on medium.com, and doubling down on this, I had verified HCG tests, and then to find out that she was actually they verified she was purchasing HCG injections is hilarious. But apparently she was let me see if I can find, I need to turn caps lock off. I don't know how to spell his name. Let me see if I can find that part before we get to it. Somewhere in this first section of documents. Okay. Not there's a lot of stuff for us to read through, but it's just hilarious seeing it all spelled out like this. And the fact that they had to do an investigation into this lady's bullshit because she wouldn't stop taking it to court. All she had to do was stop taking it to court, right? Like, okay. I think I probably skimmed over it by accident, but we'll find it. This won't take long. I should have left it up before we started on that page, but... Oh, and her sister 100% knew about all this, by the way. I've always said, like, I reserve judgment on the sister. Because I do try to be cautious, even when people don't deserve it, you know what I mean? Which is why it's when I, like, double down on somebody's lying, it's like, you know, I've done my fucking research and put a lot of thought into it. But her sister reading this, like, her sister 100% knew about all this stuff. It's like in the back of my mind, I was always like, yeah, sure. And then when Mike said that she, you know, enabled everything, I was like, okay, yeah, definitely. But then you see them writing from an investigator, and it's like, my God, you're a fucking moron. Stupid cow. The time for name calling is here because this lady tried to gaslight me, pretending to be an ex-boyfriend of hers to make me feel guilty and try to convince me that she was suicidal. She tried to convince Dave that he was going to make her kill herself. She just wrote a whole article saying basically that we're going to cause her death, even though everyone has said we don't want to see any harm done to her. We just want her to go to fucking jail. So the time for holding back on name calling, not that I have in the past, but, you know, lately I've been trying to do that, is it's over. You're a dumb fucking cow. And David's a cuck. So, let's see. The redacted stuff is going to be like, I think it's like somebody else's, it's Sarah's probably medical records. Unfortunately, I can't verify that. If I could, I would. They mentioned one of the other victims here named Andrew, who, like, I haven't previously, I've intentionally not used the names of the other people who haven't come forward, but it's an investigation report now, so I don't feel bad about that. Let's see. We'll read the whole thing. I just really want to get to this one part first because it's fucking hilarious. If I can even find it. I was afraid I had myself muted the whole time, but I think we're good. Okay. But you can see, like, they did the whole thing with the Los Angeles Planned Parenthood. Like, they subpoenaed Planned Parenthood Los Angeles. They have no records of her. Of course, we know she didn't go there, but it's funny that it was actually, like, subpoenaed because now she and David both have to kind of eat shit. So I hope David's proud of himself for supporting this, by the way, and for slandering me and Omar and others in court documents. Enjoy getting disbarred. Let's see. If I can't find it, we'll just start reading and I'll find it. But I just thought it was the funniest part of this whole thing. Hang on. Oh, here it is. Yeah, okay. So charges requested. Number one, I'm going to read you the first part here. Count fraud schemes. Laura Owens, an adult female podcast host, barely, by the way, created a scheme to elevate her notoriety and increase her commercial value by attempting to blackmail Clayton Echard, a television celebrity, into a romantic relationship by fraud, trickery, and deception. To this end, Laura Owens perjured herself in court hearings and a deposition, as well as tampering with evidence, forging documents, and material misrepresentation, deceiving the courts and the victim, Clayton Echard. Okay, and then we have down here, on the second day of November 2023, at approximately 11:36, Laura Owens committed perjury while testifying in Maricopa County Superior Court, which time, but okay, in front of Judge Galketsis, when she testified that there was no possibility that she could be pregnant by anyone other than Clayton Echard by stating there's no chance there anybody else is. It was determined that Owens had sexual intercourse with Nicholas Sanfilippo on or about the 5th day of May 2023 and on or about the 27th day of May 2023. First of all, poor Nicholas for fucking that. But also, she was banging some dude this entire time and she knew that. Oh, my God. And she brought a paternity action against someone who she only performed oral sex on. And there's just so many elements to that are disturbing. But wow, she right before and right after she met Clayton, she was banging some dude trying to actually get pregnant so she could extort him and his notoriety for, you know, money. Let's see. I gotta close some of these tabs, man. Yeah, we'll go back to the top. Yeah, okay. So right here, it said Laura Owens committed perjury while testifying in front of Judge John Duty, who lives up to his name, when she testified that there was no possibility that she could be pregnant by anyone other than Clayton Echard by stating, "No, I haven't been intimate with anyone else since March of 2022. It was determined that Owens had sexual intercourse with Nicholas Sanfilippo on May 5th and May 27th, 2023. And like, how embarrassing is it for that guy? Like, I wish I had, like, I almost wish they had redacted this name. And if I thought that I could make a difference by redacting it myself, I would. And I think that's probably why the wonderful people who procured this document for victims of LauraOwens.com didn't redact it, which is like, he's on the witness list as well. These are public documents. This is now a high profile case. There's no way that this name is not going to get out there. So there's no real benefit to me not saying his name. Whereas like some of the other victims who hadn't come forward before when it was around the family court cases and stuff like that, it was like, if I'm like, maybe I don't need to further that person's name getting out there, but we're now at a point on this journey where there's no real benefit to me not saying it. You know what I mean? Because everybody's going to find out anyways. So that's kind of the things that I evaluate when I'm trying to think about personal information about like random third parties and stuff like that. And I'm sure the person who posted this document has the same sort of process. You know what I mean? Like, I know that everyone in this community is very careful with redacting, not to release any personal info of anyone that's going to harm them in some way. But this is out there. Inside Edition, Law and Crime, Court TV, like all these people are putting this stuff out there. This is about to come out. So, and he's also going to have to testify. So, you know, there's no real point to, I guess, redacting it at this point. Okay. Nicholas, if you're here, don't be embarrassed. We're here to support you. Yeah, I don't know who Nicholas is or what he's about. I don't mean to mock the guy because I don't know. I literally know nothing about him other than his name now. But like the fact that she was just like banging some dude while doing this is like, speaks so much to motive. Oh my God. And they really have built, we'll go from the top here and I'll start reading this for you guys. They really have built a good case around financial motive, which I honestly thought like, she seems to care more about getting a man and keeping control over him. And I still maintain that. But they've laid out a really good case for financial motive that includes like why her whole family is in on this shit. Like why her sister's helping her and like why her parents may not have said something. You can kind of read all that between the lines here. But yeah, and the fact that they all just filed for bankruptcy except the sister is like, wow. Okay. One sec. Mr. MG Law, sorry, but I'm pregnant with your children. 8. Huh. We have talked over the internet, so how shall we celebrate? P.S. I don't swallow. Yeah, okay. I think you guys should work your stuff out. I don't know what else to say to that. Give me one sec. I want to see if I can fix the camera. If I can't, maybe I'll just turn it off. Yeah, let's do that. Maybe I'll turn it back on if I start to feel compelled to do so. But this case involves a 34-year-old female, Laura Owens, blah, blah, blah. Internet-based personality who hosts a podcast, and a 31-year-old male, Clayton Echard, who is a television personality having appeared on The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. On or about May 17th, 2023, Laura Owens contacted Clayton Echard. So again, that date right there, very important. I forget details about this stuff, so having it all laid out like this is very helpful. And I know like the websites like Justice for Clayton, All the Best People, the Victims of Laura Owens People, sorry. They've all laid out timelines very well, but still like I forget stuff because I do not have the space in my brain for everything I do with work and also with this stuff. So here them putting May 17th helps me out because they made it very clear that she and Nicholas had sexual intercourse before May 17th and after May 17th. Right. So she was actually trying to get pregnant and then claiming that it could only be Clayton's. Not surprising. Okay. It's for the purpose of conducting real estate business. Echard is a realtor. They exchanged information. According to Echard, Owens was flirty. Shortly thereafter, Owens sent him a provocative video. Owens' side view in spandex type clothing with a horse. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna text him and like rag on him for that later because the things that dudes will find sexy in any given moment is just so confusing to me. And Echard told her to come over. They met on the evening of May 20th and were intimate. Eckert reported that Owens performed fellatio twice. Owens contends that there was penile penetration. Remember that she at first she did not contest, which is what you won't see in this document right here because it's very like strictly laid out the way they did their investigation. What you won't see is the details of her back and forth on Reddit and shit like that before those posts were deleted. The things that have been memorialized on the internet now but aren't necessarily relevant to this specific document. She contends there was penile penetration. The day after this event, Eckert met with Owens to show her some homes. Following this, Eckert said he told her that he crossed an ethical line and that he would refer her to a colleague. According to Eckert, Owens began to cry and told him that she wanted to see where it would go, and there was something special between them. Eckert said that he refused to represent Owens in real estate business from that time, and he blocked her telephone number. Okay. On June 1st, she emailed Eckert and told him that she was pregnant. She provided an image of her positive pregnancy test. Additionally, there would be 5 other pregnancy tests, one specifically taken in Eckert's presence. The home pregnancy tests are based on the presence of HCG in a woman's urine or the level of HCG in her blood. The tests that Owens took all indicate that Owens was pregnant due to the presence of HCG. Eckert denied that he caused Owens' pregnancy and denied that the children were his in the event that she was actually pregnant. Throughout the following months, Owens contended that she was pregnant and barraged Eckert with emails and text messages. These messages contained offerings of aborting the pregnancy in exchange for a promise of an intimate relationship, images of pregnancy tests, and threats of going public on social media and with the tabloids, which is hilarious, again, because she and David both, maintain that Clayton has been looking for fame when he was just trying to get out of the situation, and she was like, I'm going to go to the tabloids, I'm going to go out on social media, and she ultimately did. And David, I hope that David does read this document. I don't think he will, or he'll pretend that he didn't. David, if he reads this document, should feel absolutely fucking sick. Because there's no way that you can deny that all this is true, unless you're like maintaining that the entire system is corrupt against this woman, even though she has apparently faked it within other courts as well. Other states. Like, what the fuck? So embarrassing. So embarrassing, but all right. Let's see. Owens continued to seek an intimate relationship. However, when this failed, Owens began utilizing the media to damage Eckert's reputation. She filed for an injunction against harassment. Shortly after that, Owens filed for an order of protection. Okay, and there's an email here that they've included. It's the ones where she's saying, I have major media outlets who want to publish this story. By the way, like a lot of people just like wouldn't publish her story at first or ignored it. But, the tabloids kind of came out with it. I asked them to hold it until I give the final word. Let me be clear. I have no desire to destroy your career. Really? But I made it abundantly clear that going public is the only way to get you to talk about the pregnancy and our plan going forward. Dude, you see how bizarre that is? Going public is the only way to get you to talk about the pregnancy and our plan going forward. And she was like accusing him of seeking fame and all this stuff. Like, it's so fucking nuts. So nuts. And like, just knowing that what we know now, think about how abusive this is. Like, I maintain, she is the abuser. She's a very abusive person, both emotionally and, potentially physically, because she, went over to his house knowing that he was high. But I feel like that's up to him to really determine if he feels that he was, taken advantage of in that way. But she went over to his apartment, knew that he was high. She had sent him those pictures, and then she proceeded to have intimate relations with him. I still feel a little sick every time I have to say that, but poor Clayton. He's such a good guy. But damn. He really gets a bad rap. It's so bad. I only wish that the people who've been like flaming him for talking about his story and stuff on social media could see this. And a lot of them won't, because I saw so many people on Reddit and stuff like that, which is part of the reason I don't look at Reddit as a whole a lot anymore. I'm not talking about JFC. I'm talking about like Bachelor subreddits and stuff like that. Reality TV subreddits is like, we're talking about somebody who seriously abused this person and took advantage of him. And the people who don't like him on these subreddits and these websites are like, well, he needs to shut up. He's just looking for fame and attention, blah, blah, blah. And they don't like him. And that's the only reason they're saying that. And I want to say to all those people, read this whole thing. And then you tell me if you feel comfortable with the way you behaved towards somebody who was a victim of this behavior. Because if it was someone that you didn't know, or even someone that you cared about, you would be absolutely fucking raging for them. you would be raging for them. You would absolutely support them telling their story, continuing to pursue justice. Like, the fact that people were so like bagging on him during all of this is infuriating to me. But like, I don't know. It's been a long time. He seems to have let it roll off of his back a lot, and so I just try not to look at the internet sites that talk about this kind of shit too much anymore. So it's nutty though. I think a lot of people who don't like watch this stuff closely, they don't see that, but it's so fucking horrible. All right. Fake Laura Owens, hello. Thank you for the $5. But mom said women have been faking it for centuries. This was just an extension of that. I mean, this probably does seem like a little bit of a family ritual, to be honest. All right. Let's see. There were 3 civil court cases that arose out of Owens and Eckert's relationship. We're talking about the ones in front of Galketsis. This was an injunction against harassment. Clayton was the petitioner. The injunction was issued. Okay. And this one was in front of Judge Judy, of course, was an order of protection. Okay. And then we have the sworn deposition in March 2024. The paternity case. Laura Owens was the petitioner in this case, the paternity case, right? Laura Owens petitioned for a judgment of paternity showing Clayton Eckert as a father of her alleged unborn twins and was suing for child support. Owens reported having a miscarriage during the alleged pregnancy and intended to dismiss the case as there was a negative pregnancy test on November 14th. Eckert challenged this and requested a finding of no paternity and a judgment for attorney's fees. Judge Mata found for Eckert on both issues and referred the matter to Maricopa County Attorney's Office. So unfortunately, these paragraphs here are redacted, but so there's gonna be stuff we can't see. But case and evidence review. Let's see. During testimony in Judge Cynthia Galketsis' court at approximately 11:36 a.m., Laura Owens testified there was no possibility that she could be pregnant by anyone other than Clayton Eckert. And then we kind of read this part already, I think, or some of it. Actually, no, not this paragraph per se, but something similar. During her testimony in Judge Judy's court, when asked if the unborn children could belong to anyone else, Laura Owens testified, stating no, that she had not been intimate with anyone else since March of 2022 when she was violently assaulted and raped by a subject named Andrew in Hoboken, New Jersey. During her deposition, after being placed under oath, Laura Owens reported that she and Clayton Eckert had penetrative sex. There's a figure here that's an ultrasound image that was obtained from 1060 OBGYN in New York, as found in Sarah Owens Navarro's medical records. By the way, I stayed in this hotel in New York the last couple nights when I was out there for the hearing. I picked the Hilton like closest to the courthouse because I had Hilton points. And then as soon as I got dropped off at the Hilton, I look up and there's Barry's. And I was just like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like the Barry's was right there. I was like, no way. So that's crazy. Okay. Let's see. Information noted on the left side of the original image is also missing on the forged image. So there's some redaction there, but additionally, the date on the left bottom of the image had been changed. The forged banner is figure 12 below. Right. So we can't see some of this stuff, like what I said, but is Judge Julie Mata's court, in Judge Julie Mata's court, let's see, she testified she had made changes to the ultrasound concerning the information on the banner portion, however, made no statements concerning the altered portion of the image itself. Owens testified that this image had not been used in any court proceedings. Owens reported that the ultrasound was done in California at Planned Parenthood. Laura testified that she used a fake name, which is not a thing you can do when you go to a medical office. So, during cross-examination at approximately 9:44 a.m., Owens testified that she had an ultrasound at Planned Parenthood in Southern California. She testified that during her deposition, she said it was in Mission Viejo. Okay, the ultrasound image was a true and accurate picture. Okay, so I'm going to try to skim some of this because I got to get back to work in a little while. But Owens testified during her deposition she admitted changing the information to reflect the ultrasound was from Smil along with the additional information noted on figure 12. Owens maintained that the ultrasound was never submitted to the court. She testified she did attend an appointment with Planned Parenthood. Owens was confronted by Miss Arena with a records request response from Planned Parenthood stating that she did schedule an appointment at Planned Parenthood for July 2nd but failed to attend. Owens testified that this was correct. Okay. Ms. Arena added that the response also reported the ultrasound image was not consistent with ultrasound images generated by their practice. Owens responded by testifying that it was not consistent with the practice in Mission Viejo. When confronted with the fact that the request was for all Planned Parenthoods in San Bernardino, I've been to San Bernardino and Orange counties. Owens stated that it didn't cover Los Angeles. Owens testified that this ultrasound was from Planned Parenthood in Los Angeles on July 2nd. Planned Parenthood in Los Angeles was subpoenaed. Results indicated there was no record of Laura Owens at that Planned Parenthood. Okay. So this is from September 25th, 2024. I'm looking at the top. That was 3 months after the trial. Subject Laura Owens, aka Emily Wilson, because that was the fake name that she tried to use. She tried to change her name to Emily Wilson. She was shocked Pikachu face when she found out that you could find out when somebody changes their name. It's public record. And then she was like, never mind, I'm not going to change my name. And then she tried to get her fucking money back from the court, which was the funniest part of that whole thing. But yeah. Let's see. And they're saying, we do not have a chart for this patient among our facilities in Los Angeles. So not only did she not get an ultrasound on July 2nd, they have no record of her ever being there in any Los Angeles facility. So, all right. Cute. During her deposition, Owens testified that she went to Planned Parenthood in Mission Viejo. Yeah, we got that. Okay. In Laura Owens' deposition, she's questioned about a video, okay, that shows her father, Ron Owens, touching a pregnant belly while he's in the hospital. Laura Owens is asked about this. Laura testifies that this is her father touching her belly. Laura is confronted by the possibility that this is her sister, Sarah Navarro's stomach when she was pregnant. Laura denies this, stating that it is her with her father. So right there, she can't say that that's never been submitted to a court or used in the court, right? Because she's being asked about these things that were absolutely included in court documents and questioning. Laura is asked if there would be any reason that Sarah would say that it's her. Laura testified there is no reason that Sarah would say that it's her. Laura testified that she's about 21 weeks pregnant at that time. A screenshot was taken of the video and is figure 15 in this report. Figure 16 is a screenshot of the same video. However, it appears figure 15 has been cropped to exclude the face of the actual pregnant person. Figure 16 has not been cropped and shows the video is actually of Ron Owens touching the pregnant belly of Sarah Navarro. And Ron and Jan Owens know this. This is not like a secret that they're just finding out with these documents like a bunch of other people, right? She, her sister, her mother, and her father are all aware of this. And that's why I keep telling people, this is not the behavior of a delusional person. This is absolutely calculated. So when she tries to blame things on autism or mental health in some way, it's not a fucking mental health symptom. This is something that you do if you're a diabolical, evil, blood-sucking cunt. Right? It's not some byproduct of having autism or any other condition. This is not somebody who is incompetent. This is somebody who is very calculated and unfortunately very well versed in how things work up to that point and how to get around the system, because she knows she's not going to be most likely prosecuted for perjury. People aren't going to question things. People don't have the financial resources to fight her on it and to get to this point. And so she's finally finding out what's going to be the consequences of her actions because she did it over and over and over again. And this is also kind of what I was saying earlier about you can definitely see the financial motive amongst the family because they were all in on it. They all knew. They've all, except for Sarah, filed for bankruptcy now, and Sarah has her name on their house. So that's going to be a problem. And so while Laura might have just been trying to control and abuse and keep a man and trying to trap a man because all she wanted was a dude who wanted to be with her, but she is a terrible, evil bitch. So why would they want to be? And, her parents were encouraging this, probably saying, if she convinces a court that she's pregnant with this man's child and she actually gets pregnant by this guy, Nicholas, who she's having sex with in the background, then she can sue for paternity. She can get a bunch of, child support payments and all that stuff, like all kind of financial gain. So her whole family had the motive to do this. And I don't want to believe people are that evil. So I was just kind of like, I don't know about her sister. I don't know about that. But as things moved on and on, it just became kind of undeniable. My boss just dinged me again. So give me like 2 seconds, guys. I'm so sorry. Sorry about that. That was something I just had to do really quick. No, it's really annoying, but unfortunately, we had like around the holidays, stuff started coming in last minute to where on my breaks they would message me to do things really last minute. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm always keeping up with my work and shit. And so whatever. But like after the holidays, I guess in the last couple weeks, stuff has been coming in last minute. They're like, you have to finish this before 3 p.m. I'm like, well, could you assign it to me before 2:30? But you know, anyways, that's what was going on. So give me just 1 second here to get my bearings, and we'll resume. Somebody said thought law and crime apply to be pool cameras. I actually applied a long ass time ago. So I don't know how that's gonna work out. Like when this shit first came out, I sent in an application for that, but I didn't push it on a lot of stuff because it's like I'm not gonna fly out there for all these like little hearings. But you know, I also heard that that's not how it works in criminal court there, and that they have the court's cameras. But so I'm a little confused about how that works, but I did apply for it. And then I messaged them, but because everything with the trial was being like kind of consolidated and refiled, I'm not really sure how it was going to go. So I've reached out to them about it. I haven't heard back. And honestly, I'm not that pressed. If they were to like never email me back, I would just be like, whatever, because I'm just going to be there sitting in the courtroom anyways. I'm not really going to be streaming unless I operate the camera. But I have a feeling that she will have some objections to that. I don't know if she has the right to object to that, but she would probably, you know, I don't know if I really want her to file with a criminal court that I'm a cult leader, because I don't believe her about her fake HCG tests, but you know what it is. So, but yeah. Anyway, sorry about the delay there, guys. Okay, so we're talking about the video between, you know, Laura. She submitted it as Sarah. We can't see it. Again, some of the stuff, especially when it's Sarah's medical records, are redacted, unfortunately. So, additionally, the video that figure 15 was taken has no audio track. The video from figure 16 has an audio track. Laura and her mother, Jan Black, can be heard talking in the background. Oh my God, you're dumb. So dumb. Oh, hey, Rob. What's going on? Hey, Rosalind. Okay, let's see. At the injunction against harassment hearing in the Judge Cynthia Gelketz's court, through her attorney Joshua Lopez, Laura Owens admits Exhibit 46, which is described as medical records from various providers to confirm her pregnancy. And this exhibit is an HCG test from Sonora Quest through any lab test now. During the March 1st deposition, she reported she had an HCG test she ordered on her own through any lab test now, and that this test showed a low HCG level, indicating that this was consistent with a non-viable pregnancy. The HCG test was taken on 10/16 and was processed by Sonora Quest Labs and indicated an HCG level of 102. Owens would have been approximately 22 weeks pregnant at the time and should have had an HCG level between 4,060 and 165,400. Okay. So, by the way, if you're pregnant and you're afraid you might have had a miscarriage, we know that she pretends that she was afraid she might have had a miscarriage. And so she was texting a hotline. If you're afraid you had a miscarriage, you're not going to any lab test now, Scottsdale. You're going to the fucking emergency room, first of all. And even if you don't go to the emergency room, you're going to an OBGYN. You're not going to any lab test now, Scottsdale. That's stupid. So stupid. If she was actually as brain dead as she portrays herself to be when explaining her actions, as far as like the medical tests around these pregnancies, she would be dead from an infection because she would never have gone to a doctor after, you know, a missed abortion. My God. Hey, Rachel. Where are you driving? Anyways, during the June 10th hearing, she testified about the lab test now. Let me try to skim some of this. She reported she did this for the purpose of sending the test results to Dave Neal in an effort to get him to stop creating harassing videos of her. The harassing videos, by the way, were just saying, hey, you're not fucking pregnant. But like in nicer words, like Dave would say it, not like I would say it. After some discussion, Owens agreed that she changed the HCG level from 102 to 131,000. Okay. Owens stated that she altered this HCG report, increasing the level, and offered it to a content creator as support for a pregnancy, but did not offer it to the court. The altered report is figure 19 below, so we don't have that. Like some of this stuff is still redacted. So, During testimony in Judge Galketz's court, she testified she had seen her OBGYN, Dr. Higley, the previous Friday. She was confronted by Deandra and Judge Mott. My boss needs to stop fucking pinging me. Sorry. In Judge Motta's court, alleging that she lied to the court. Owens stated that she had the appointment scheduled, but she did not attend. I swear to God, message me one more time. Message me one more time on my break. Okay. I don't know if you guys can hear the pinging, but like 6 in a row. All right. Today is very obnoxious. Miss Arena told Owens that saying she was seen by a doctor is not the same as having an appointment set. Owens agreed. Miss Arena asked Owens if she was dishonest when she stated that she was physically seen by Dr. Higley the Friday before the November 2nd hearing. Owens said, correct. That's a very minor thing. And if you guys remember, that's where people laughed in the courtroom and she had her little emotional outburst. And the reason I am so careful now when I go to courtrooms is because I don't want to give anyone an excuse to be like, the crowd is heckling me. You know what I mean? So we had a couple people laugh a couple times, actually, in the federal hearing I was at yesterday. And I was afraid that the judge was going to be like, everyone needs to shut the fuck up. But he actually didn't. So he let it slide. I guess because he thought he was being funny too. So whatever. Give me 1 sec to get a drink. Okay. Lauren is an awesome audience member. I know this firsthand. Dude, I was as scared at your filming as I was in federal court yesterday. I sat there frozen. I was like, do not have a facial reaction or you will die. That's what I kept telling myself. Okay. Well, especially because yours is filmed. So I was just like, I don't want to ruin your show by like laughing when I'm not supposed to. So yeah. Okay. Anyways, let's see. Laura Owens agreed that she had never been seen by Dr. McCool or Dr. Higley for any medical appointments. Owens admitted to lying regarding the fact in the paternity hearing on the 10th day of June, blah, blah, blah. During the deposition, Mr. Woodnick, reviewed all the medical providers and prescription drugs that Owens had, including asking about Pregnil HCG. Okay. Owens denied being prescribed Pregnil and never mentioned seeing Dr. Carmen Mora at Inova Med Spa. Inova Med Spa provides a Pregnil HCG diet. During the paternity hearing in Judge Motta's courts, David, and they keep saying David Gingrich, which is amazing, but it's David Gingrich, right? Referring to the pregnancy tests, asked Owens if she did anything at all to tamper with those tests. She said no. He then asked if she took any drugs, hormones, or substances at all to affect the outcome. She said no. Mr. Gingrich asked Owens if she used someone else's urine to affect the outcome. Owens said no. In the hearing, Mr. Gingrich, referring to the Sonora Quest HCG test, asked if she did anything to tamper with this test, if she took any drugs, injected herself with anything at all to affect this test. Owens responded, no, I did not. Okay. During a search of Owens' iCloud, oof. Oh, man, this is why she had such a freak out during that police raid, right? Especially when her mom's whatever. During a search of Owens' iCloud, a series of messages were noted that indicated that Owens had gone to Inova Med Spa and purchased HCG, and that she had the injections delivered to her home. These text exchanges also indicate that Owens did not want her family to know that she was injecting HCG. Oh my God. Okay. So right there, they'll probably use that text. And I'm going to say it right now. The reason these people are so fucking calculated, the reason that she sent that text right now was so that her family would have an out. And I bet it was Jan's idea, because these text exchanges saying, I didn't want my family to know I was injecting HCG is like a clear-cut way to try to get them off of any guilt or anything like that. But they can't pretend they didn't know the video she used was Sarah's. They can't pretend they didn't know it was Sarah's ultrasound. So they're all fucking screwed. It's amazing. This is a great day. During the paternity hearing in Judge Motta's court, Owens' attorney David Gingrich entered into evidence videos that Owens self took showing her pregnant stomach. These were labeled as A6 and A7. Okay, so we can see those. And then there's another one here that's redacted. Figure 25 and 26 are screenshots from the video at the hearing. And In Judge John Duty's court at approximately 8:47, Laura Owens refers to a Reddit image as the Halloween one. This is an image which was a screenshot from a Reddit thread captioned, "How to win the scariest costume contest." Owens testified that this is her showing her stomach, holding a sonogram of their son that only Eckerd had possession of. Which is actually hilarious because David himself sent an email to one of us, who sent it to me, saying that she never knew the gender of the babies. So, awesome, David. You're doing great. Owens testified that the sonogram that she is holding in the screenshot is an image that she only sent to Eckerd, and that he was the only one that would have been able to post it. Okay. Judge Duty references the exhibit and mentioned that the post was made by the one and only Jen. Owens testified she did not know this person and referenced the sonogram image, stating that Eckerd was the only one that she sent it to. Owens testified that she sent the sonogram image to Eckerd because she was concerned about the baby's profile. Owens reported that she sent the image to Eckerd in an email. The image is a profile, and it doesn't look like the baby has a nose, and she was concerned that the baby has a genetic defect. Eckerd testified that he did receive the sonogram from Owens. A similar sonogram image was located during the search of Owens' iCloud. The image was determined to have been Owens' sister, Sarah Navarro's, which was originally created at Northwell Health in New York City. Laura Owens altered the image by removing Sarah's first name and the Northwell Health stamp. My God. All right, give me 1 second. All right. Can someone send this to Duty? Let's not harass Judge Duty. Let's just let him retire, knowing that he's living up to his namesake. I don't want to harass the judge. All right. Let's see. This investigation has shown that the allegations of paternity, as well as the ensuing restraining order hearings, were brought about by false allegations, lies, and contrived evidence that were intentionally orchestrated by Laura Michelle Owens in an attempt to increase her notoriety. Laura Michelle Owens attempted to blackmail Clayton Eckerd, a television personality, into an intimate relationship, and likely would have deceived her way into an actual pregnancy, thereby reaping financial gains through child support payments, as well as other financial incentives. Additionally, with increased notoriety would come an increased subscribership to Owens' podcasts, resulting in increased commercial value, which is fucking hilarious, given how much she complains about people making money talking about her case, about people making content that they get paid for. I mean, my God, it's really nice to see this laid out in like an official document like that. It's nutty. Oh my God. Okay. They go to the charges requested, which I think we pretty much know. Let's see. To this end, Laura Owens perjured herself in court hearings and a deposition, as well as tampering with evidence, forging documents, and material misrepresentation, deceiving the courts and the victim, Clayton Eckerd. And just like go back to the last thing that I did about Laura Owens on this channel, about the article she just wrote on her Medium blog about how people who are talking about this online are going to be the reason for her death because she was totally pregnant and she's the victim somehow. What she's doing is it's going to shoot her in the foot, because she's like thinking this somehow won't end up in trial with everybody finding out everything that she's done. Still, she's thinking that. But she's not going to come across well in her online publications that she continues to make now because she doesn't have that private attorney anymore who handled her like an attorney should. And I'm not saying the public defender isn't a good guy or a good lawyer. I'm just saying it seems that only Josh 2.0 could handle Laura Owens as far as her public ranting. But this stuff that she's writing online is manipulative and it's intentional. And it's showing that she's trying to further slander other people who are just trying to tell the truth about what she's done. And then she's trying to play the victim further. And she continues to, slander her victims. She continues to lie about things that happen in this case. And so when she does that openly and publicly, she's just making everything easier for the prosecution. And it's insane because I didn't know everything that they had. Like, I didn't know that they had all this shit. I assume that I didn't know that. And so, like, read this, okay, guys, and then go back to her last Medium post. Go back to that website that she made, obviously, because she posted materials on it that only she could possess, like the deposition clips from Clayton's deposition. Go back to that, and then tell me how you think that's going to play in front of a jury. Like, what does she think is going to happen? It's insane. She thinks the jury is like only going to like sit there and like listen to her read off her medium.com poetry and like not see any evidence and not think that that's fucking nutty and that you should go to jail for that. Like, what do you think is going to happen? And then David Gingras simping for this all over YouTube before he gets banned for nudity, which is hilarious because there was no nudity on his channel. But my God, that guy should be so fucking embarrassed. So embarrassed because, you know, he hasn't seen this. You know he hasn't, and he may or may not ever read it. But if he ever read it, he would have to admit to himself that he's a fucking moron. I mean, he's out there posting on his blogs and his YouTube channel saying, I'll always be Team Laura, and like that Laura didn't lie, and like abusing her victims online, filing documents in a federal court saying crazy shit about me. My God. What an embarrassing way to go out in your law career. That's well-deserved and epic. My God. And what sucks is like, Steve was kind of like impartial with, not even impartial. I wouldn't say impartial. Steve was kind and like patient with David, to have him on his channel to like talk to Rachel. And I don't know if he could do that again. So what kind of sucks is like, we'll never see David have to like be confronted with these facts. Because I don't know if Steve, after like the way Steve described, I don't know exactly what was said, but the way Steve described how David talked to him about Rachel the last time they spoke, I'm like, I don't know if Steve would ever do this again. But I think it would be fucking hilarious if he had to like sit there and listen to all these things and then try to explain how like, everything, the court system, the police, everybody in different states, in different courts, they're all just against Laura, this one person who's totally not lying about this. Like, I would love to hear him try to explain that. You're a fucking cuck, David. All right. I'm going to go check on those notifications from my boss in a minute, but why don't we read some more first? Let's see. Okay. This one says Laura Owens committed perjury in front of Galketsis when she testified there was no possibility she could be pregnant by anyone else because she had intercourse with Nicholas Sanfilippo like right before and right after she met Clayton, and she's still trying to get pregnant so she can exploit Clayton. Let's see. We got another one here. She committed perjury while testifying in court in front of duty when she testified that there was no possibility that she could be pregnant by anyone other than Clayton. We just said that. By stating, no, I haven't been intimate with anyone else since March of 2022, right? So same thing. So the two counts here are like, or not the two counts, but it's all count one, but it's all speaking to that. So she said, no, there's no chance they're anyone else's kids, and I haven't been intimate with anyone else. So, all right. So let's say... She testified that she and Eckert had penetrative sex and that she advised her sister, Sarah Navarro, that she and Eckert had penetrative sex via text message. So this is redacted. I don't know why, but it is. But given the context of this, so it says, during a sworn deposition, she testified that she and Clayton had sex and that she advised her sister that they had sex. So something in this redaction here is showing that she sent a message to Sarah that either made it clear that they didn't have sex or didn't say that they had sex the way that she characterized it. I can tell you exactly what that is. Actually, I don't know why that's redacted. That seems kind of excessive, but who the hell is Nicholas? That's a great fucking question. Yeah. Anyways. Laura Owens forged Sarah Navarro's sonogram to create the appearance of the sonogram belonged to Laura and that she was pregnant with twins in order to defraud Clayton Eckert into believing she was carrying his children. All right, here's another one. Clayton's attorney, Greg Woodnick, he was deposing her, and she said that she changed the location, the date, and the name on the sonogram, which in and of itself is ridiculous. But she maintained that the image itself was that of her ultrasound, indicating that she was pregnant with twins. This sonogram was altered and was initially that of her sister, Sarah. Yeah, no shit. All right. Laura committed perjury while testifying in front of Julie Mata. When she testified to a sonogram image, Owens' attorney asked if she had a sonogram done in California. Owens responded, "Yes, I did." Owens admitted to changing the location, the date, and placing her name on the top banner. The sonogram was altered and was initially that of her sister, which we know happened in New York. So even if she could magically be like, "I'm Sarah," it happened in New York. So, my God. Laura Owens testified to a video clip of her father, Ron Owens, in a hospital bed, rubbing her pregnant belly. She maintained this was her and her father by stating, "My dad's in the hospital and he touched my stomach." However, Owens' face was not visible. The original video was located during this investigation. It can be seen that Owens' sister, Sarah Navarro, is the subject with the pregnancy. My God. Yeah. Here's what I'm going to do. Add this. We'll show it for 60 seconds. I'm going to check my boss's messages real quick. And then I'll come right back because I got to just make sure. Okay, again, sorry about that. Just had to finish something with my boss real quick. I should not be interrupted again during this live stream, so we should be good. All right. I'm sure they've investigated and spoken to Nicholas. Yeah, Nicholas is on the witness list, so I feel like they've probably talked to him. But yeah. 1 second here. What I was thinking about just while I was going over there to answer my messages from my work desk is the podcast people. I wish that, because the podcast is supposed to come out soon, and I'm only, your audio is off. You sound like a chipmunk. No, I am a chipmunk, bitch. Okay. But the podcast people, and I'm only saying this because I know that people already know about the podcast. It's supposed to come out soon, right? And I don't know the date of that. They haven't advertised it or anything, but I was wishing that we knew about this person, Nicholas, before the podcast was coming out, because I wonder what he would have to say, first of all. And second, I wish that they had been able to interview Laura before this document came out, because Laura's clinging for life to this narrative that she had this positive HCG test, and they have evidence that she bought the HCG, injected herself with HCG, and then was like, I don't know, I don't want other people to know about it. You're dumb. You're dumb. Hold on. Let me see. I don't know if my audio is good or not because Omar and other people could be fucking with me. So you know what I'm going to do? I know how to fix this. I'm going to listen to myself and find out. Give me 1 sec. Yeah, no, I listened to that 5 seconds of audio, and I don't sound like a chipmunk, and you're a cunt. Sorry, Omar. Okay, but thanks for the... Fuck you! You're such a dick! Fuck you! I can't believe I had to do that. I'm moving on. Okay. My God. All right. So they're talking about the Dr. Higley thing in this count. Let's see what else. You're such a cunt. Don't make me take another break. All right. Let's see. They're talking about the Pregnil thing. So if they ask her about Pregnil, she's like, I don't know what that is, but apparently she does because she's been shooting it up inside of herself. But whatever. Anything but actually getting pregnant by the man you were having sex with, I guess, right? You guys are assholes. I'm sorry. Why does everyone think that's so funny? It's not funny. What if I sat here trying to fix my audio for like 40 minutes? I'm employed. I can't sit here all day. Okay? Hang on, give me 1 sec. All right. Good now. Okay. And this gets me every time they say Gingrich. In this, I love it. All right, let's see. She said no, she didn't tamper at all with the HCG tests. So that was one of the things she lied about. Let's see, tampering with physical evidence again. Let's see. These exhibits, the fake pregnancy belly photos, I guess, were things that she created attempting to convince the court that she was in fact pregnant by showing her appearance as being pregnant. And then whatever's redacted here obviously shows that those videos are either fake or altered, which is not surprising. So let's see. Convinced the court she was in fact pregnant on September 19th and October 9th. By showing her appearance as being pregnant. Owens was asked about these videos, and she said, that's me showing my pregnant stomach. I think that's probably Sarah's video. Something we're talking about. Okay. Laura Owens committed perjury while testifying in Maricopa County Superior Court in front of a judge on duty. When she testified regarding a sonogram that was attached to an image of herself in a spoof Halloween costume package from Reddit, Owens testified that the sonogram image she is seen holding in the overall image is a sonogram of our son that only he had possession of. Owens' attorney asked if this was a sonogram that she sent Eckerd or if anyone else received it. Owens stated that the ultrasound was not sent to anyone else. This sonogram image was found to have been from Owens' sister, Sarah Navarro's pregnancy. My God. So like I said, I have to work today, unfortunately, so I'm not going to get through the whole thing. This is a 118-page document. I'm going to try to come back, hopefully with some other people this weekend. I'm going to see how I feel about it. It'll be either Saturday or Sunday. Tomorrow is Saturday, and I have my cousin's baby's first birthday party. So, like, I'm going to have to drive up to Tallahassee in the morning, have a 1-year-old's birthday party, and then drive back from Tallahassee at night. So, I don't know if I'll be here in time to do a stream tomorrow night, but so it'll probably be Sunday night. But we'll see. I'll get through as much as I can, though, today. We'll read some more of this. I don't think I need to read this one. I think it's pretty similar to what we saw above. Let's see. Here is a supplemental report form. Okay. I was contacted by Lieutenant J. Plummer and asked to investigate allegations of perjury and tampering with evidence against suspect Laura Owens. Lieutenant Plummer provided me with a copy of a ruling made by the Honorable Julie Ann Mata reference. By the way, when we're reading all this, just think about what they've done to Judge Mata. The things that David has written on his website and the things that Laura has written in her stupid ass blogs. My God, the things they did to this judge are nuts. And the fact that he, I don't know how much he knew about what Laura had really done, because I think he's been very calculated in saying, I don't know about this, because he doesn't ask about it. Like, his common sense probably dictates to him that he should ask about it, but he doesn't because he knows it would get him in trouble. You know what I mean? So I don't know if he'll ever face any kind of consequences for what he wrote about Judge Mata on his blogs and stuff like that. But, obviously he's in some kind of trouble at the bar right now. So we'll see. Wait, did they get the moon bump? I'm not sure, because this is only page 23. So maybe. I don't know if anybody else is this report on Volo? Yes, I think Bruce just posted it in the chat there. But did they get the moon bump? I don't know. But if MG Law or anyone else is going live after this, I will happily redirect you to them after I'm done here, when I have to go back to work, because I have a meeting in an hour. So let's see. No moon bump? Okay. I guess Omar's read the whole thing already. Probably because he wasn't being distracted by my squeaky chipmunk voice. Asshole. All right. By the way, Omar, I'm going to be on Colonel Kurtz tonight. You should watch. 7:30 Eastern. And I got time after that if you want to go over some of the Baldoni stuff, because I'm pretty much doing nothing but stream today and work. So, all right, let's see. All right. In this ruling, Judge Mata ruled that Laura Owens presented a false claim, knowingly violated a court order compelling disclosure or discovery, that the petitioner did not file the petition in good faith. The petition was not grounded in fact or based on law. The petition was filed for an improper purpose, such as to harass the other party, to cause an unnecessary delay, or to increase the cost of litigation to the other party. The court found that Owens provided false testimony as to the viability of the pregnancy in all three cases addressed in the procedural history. The petitioner acknowledged that she altered HCG test results and ultrasound and sonogram. Finally, prior to her deposition, Owens sent a threatening letter to the respondent indicating her intention to sue. I forgot about this. Indicating her intention to sue him for $1.4 million in collateral allegations unless he agreed to dismiss this action that she initiated. After reviewing the findings, I noted that Clayton Eckert is the victim of theft by extortion, a class 4 felony, as evidenced by the threatening letter previously mentioned. I'll be shocked if somebody doesn't want to pick this up for a documentary, like a video documentary, after the podcast comes out. Right now, I'm only aware that the podcast actually wants to do it. I don't have any sort of personal insight into how people are feeling about the video series or anything like that. I think Dave has alluded to it a couple times. And I know there's some people behind the scenes who have more information than that, but I just personally, I don't know. But I'd be shocked if they didn't eventually find someone who wants to pick up on this, because this is a crazy story that would get so many viewers, to be honest. So, PLSN, thank you. Then 24, I saw Sarah, Laura's sister, in New York at live GMA show with her husband and 1-month-old baby. It was shocking at how much Laura and Sarah look alike in reference to the Laura pregnant video. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. That's crazy. I'm not going live after this. I'm still at the office trying to get stuff done before oh, I got you, man. I got you. Well, anyways, I'm sure he'll have lots to say later. So, why Paige? Thank you for the $5. They are so bad at fraud. They are really bad at fraud, dude. And Carolyn AAH, thank you for being a new member. I appreciate that. All right. Let's see. Case overview. This was filed in family court. The petition is for child support, parenting time, legal decision making. I think I can skim some of this. Hang on. The petition requests that unreimbursed medical expenses incurred by the mother resulting from the birth of minor children should be awarded to the petitioner. The petition was signed and was notarized by Hunter Vincent Maurer, a notary public in the state of Texas. Laura Owens contacted Clayton Eckert via LinkedIn for the purpose of seeking out real estate. As a result, Owens met with Eckert at Eckert's home. There was sexual activity during that evening. Owens reported that there was intercourse. Sorry. Eckert maintained that there was only oral sexual contact. Owens performed fellatio on Eckert. Owens later claimed that she was pregnant with twins. I think we know all this stuff. We don't need to really read that. Okay. Detective Gabe Gonzalez and I met with Clayton Eckert at approximately 11 o'clock in a private conference room on June 25th, 2024. So this was only a couple weeks after the trial. Wow. Okay. I didn't understand. Like, I didn't realize they started investigating this right away, dude. This is nuts. Give me 1 second to get some water and then we'll continue. All right. Let's see. So this is what happened with Clayton, I guess. The officer or the interviewer here is saying, I began by providing Clayton with my business card. Said, call me. Just kidding. That's not what happened. And advised that it contained my contact information. I explained that the investigation was for MCAO, blah, blah, blah. I asked Clayton to tell us how they met and how the relationship began. Clayton told us that he had just obtained his real estate license and that Laura contacted him on LinkedIn, telling him that she wanted to do some creative deals. Oh, she did. She really did. They exchanged contact information. Clayton told us that Laura was very flirty off the gate, but he kept it professional. Clayton said that the next contact was about a week later. He said he took an edible. She sent him a provocative photo, and then he told her to come over. Laura did come over, and she performed oral twice. Clayton said that they didn't have sexual intercourse. The second time she did the oral sex. I can't believe I said that out loud. Sorry. I'll turn this back on because I think we're fine. Give me a second, though. I don't want people to think I disappeared. And the problem is when I'm drinking water and I have my camera off, people think I disappeared. So okay. By the way, somebody sent me this like really nice, huge bottle, like a stainless steel bottle to my PO box. And I don't want to out them, but thank you for that. I've had it for a little bit, but it's like the only one I use now. So, okay. Let's see. The second time she ran straight to the bathroom. He said he didn't think anything of it at the time. Clayton said that he went to sleep, and the next day he showed her homes. Clayton said he told Laura this was a mistake. He shouldn't have crossed the professional boundary. Okay, we know this already. I asked Clayton if Laura knew who he was prior to this. He said he feels that she targeted him and that she claimed that she had tried to contact his office but couldn't get a hold of anyone. So she said she tried to call his office, but she couldn't get a hold of anyone, so she messaged him on LinkedIn. Why wouldn't you just leave a voicemail and wait? Or like call someone else? Clayton told us that he checked with his old office, and they said they never heard from this woman. Oh, okay, that tracks. So they never heard from him. Clayton added, that again speaks to the fact that she was targeting him from the beginning. It was just like, she messaged him on LinkedIn because she said she couldn't get a hold of him, but actually she never called. Clayton added that they also saw that the last 8 guys she followed on social media were all athletes, real estate agents, good-looking guys. Okay. Clayton said that Laura also applied for The Bachelor during a previous season. He said she claimed not to know who he was and that she never watched the show, but she's interviewed former guys from the show. Clayton thought his name may be Chris Lane. What? Oh, okay. And thinks that she may have tried to get him caught up in a similar situation. Chris was a previous bachelor. So she tried to do this with Chris? That's interesting. I want to hear more from Chris. What the fuck? I think I said that I understand that Laura came to his place. He had an edible before and asked if Laura took an edible. Clayton said she did take one when she arrived. Okay. I said that I understand that there was oral sex twice, and after the second time she ran to the bathroom, Clayton indicated so. I asked why he thinks she ran into the bathroom. Clayton said he didn't think she had any intention of spitting it out and then pushing it inside herself, but that was his concern. Clayton said that, they watched the first time they were on the couch, and so he watched the first time, and I hate that, because this guy's my friend now. I'm not trying to think about, he's like a brother, right? Like, I'm not trying to think about my brother and his sexual escapades, but like, okay, let me try to be professional for a moment. Clayton said he didn't think she had any intention of spitting it out and then pushing it inside herself, but that was his concern. Clayton said he watched the first time they were on the couch, and she swallowed. The second time they were on his bed, and she ran straight to the bathroom. He assumed she was going to spit it out, but then 11 days later, after I think I'm safe from the oral sex part. Okay. After he blocked her, she told him that she's fertile. What the fuck? Who says that to a one-night stand that you just gave a blowjob to? By the way, I'm fertile. That she felt his fluid down there and she might be pregnant. That is so fucking bizarre. Knowing that she was having sex with some other guy during this time period, and that she was sending this to him and being like, it must be yours. I'm not touching anyone else. But, you know. Oh, God. And she might be pregnant. 3 days later, she messaged him and said that she was pregnant. Clayton told us that he blocked her because she told him that she wanted to date him and that she won't move forward with the real estate deals unless he dates her. Clayton told her that he was done and that he was going to pass her off to one of her coworkers. I think he means pass, like, I'm going to set you up with somebody else who can meet your real estate needs, right? Because she's obviously going to be upset with him, and he wants to make sure that she's still taken care of from a business perspective. Okay. Laura said that she didn't want that. Lady, that has nothing to do with real estate. You're just nuts. Okay. Clayton responded by telling Laura that he was done. She should find someone else. He's not representing her. Clayton said that he became concerned that Laura spit his semen out and inserted it in her vagina after she told him she was pregnant. Okay. I asked how much contact there was between Laura and him. Clayton said that there was constant communication. Clayton advised he has an entire file on his laptop that has every interaction that he had with her. She sent him over 500 emails and texts from him, approximately 13 different phones. I want to say they mean phone numbers, but given who we're dealing with, she might have had 13 different phones. I'm not sure. They're probably hiding under all of those clothes in the casita, right? Maybe the dogs ate the other 12 phones. I don't fucking know. It doesn't look like she feeds or cares for them. I mean, okay. Clayton told me that he can provide all of them to us. Laura did stop the communication after he obtained the injunction against harassment. I asked when Laura obtained an injunction. Clayton said she obtained an order of protection, and she obtained that once he filed the injunction. Wait, so he filed the injunction, and then she obtained an order of protection, right? After he filed once he filed the injunction. Okay. Clayton told us that they set a hearing for his injunction. The next day, Laura obtained the order of protection in retaliation. That makes sense. Okay. And I forget about these timelines, dude. Right, give me one sec. Wait, hold on. It says just wait. I skimmed this and there's an entire Jan section. Do you want to give me a page number? Because I could fuck with that. And I'm not going to get through every page of this document today, guys, because I have to go back to work. Like I said, I have a meeting for 15. So, just one sec. If you got a page number, though, hit me up with that. All right. Let's move forward, shall we? I asked if Laura violated the injunction by making contact with him. Clayton said that he gets random texts and emails still from an anonymous email provider called Proton Mail. Aw, he got my emails. He said that he knows it's her, but he's unable to trace it. No, I agree with that, because even everything comes from Proton Mail or some sort of sketchy, very private overseas emails or with her. So something that can't be subpoenaed, basically. Laura has not contacted him directly since the injunction, which thank God, right? So Hold on. Page 63/64. Okay. 1 sec. Jan starts at page 67. Okay. So right now we're at 25. Hang on. I need to write that down because I'll forget it. So let me read the rest of this page and then we'll move on to Jan, I guess, so I can do it before we get back to work. Okay. All right. I asked Clayton about the sonogram and the fact that Laura admitted to changing the date and changing where it's from. I asked if he has that sonogram. Clayton said that he does, and it's in one of his files. She sent it to him advising that it's her ultrasound. Clayton then told us there are 3. There's one she claimed came from Smill. Clayton said he was on Zoom call with her and her attorney, Bonnie Platter, when she showed it to him. Clayton said he took a screenshot because he wanted a record. This was one that she tampered with, reporting that she changed the name. This one was used in the deposition, and she submitted it to Judge Mata, using it in court. Clayton said there was a second ultrasound that she claimed was one of the children, where it showed a facial deformity. And then the victim of the scam involving the vanishing twin thing is also on the witness list, I believe, because she tried to say at one point she was having an issue with deformity or vanishing twin pregnancy or something, and she used another woman's ultrasound. Okay. Laura used that in the order of protection hearing, showing the judge that her child had a facial deformity. Clayton said he believes it's Laura's sister's ultrasound. She blocked out the first name on the top. It only says Owens. The date of birth was also cut out. The third one is a video, and that was sent to him via email. It was from YouTube from years ago. That's the one I'm talking about. Said he used this video to fight the order of protection during the hearing. Clayton asserted in the hearing the video was fraudulent and tried to admit it. The judge wouldn't admit or watch the video, and that's why Judge Duty was so terrible at this. And like, he was an older guy. Maybe he's a great judge in a lot of respects, right? So like, Judge Duty, despite his name, could have been an amazing judge in all other regards, but when it came to internet stuff, he was clearly a dinosaur. Yikes. Okay. So, I don't know if that's one of these is the vanishing twin thing, but I can't remember. So, I asked if all 3 videos were used in this case. Clayton said the second one with the facial deformity was used in the OOP hearing. Laura used the one from the Smill in the FC 2023 case, so I guess that was the family law case. I asked if she used the YouTube video in the family court case. Clayton indicated not, adding that Laura contends that Greg Gillespie hacked her email and sent that to him. Okay. I redirected the conversation back to the relationship and asked if there was any kind of dating after he suggested that she worked with one of his associates. Clayton said no. That one night was the only time they were intimate. Okay. Detective Gonzalez reminded Clayton that Laura indicated there would be no real estate deal unless he dated her, and asked if she said that to him or if she texted or emailed it to him. Okay. Clayton said she texted him saying she couldn't move forward with him unless he gave her a chance. Clayton told her that he sent the deals out, so now he was going to look bad. He told Laura that his credibility would be in jeopardy unless she followed through. She responded, telling him that she couldn't move forward unless he dates her. This contention then changed to stating that if he dates her for a week and it doesn't work out, then she'll have an abortion. Okay, oh God, I forgot about that. If he doesn't date her, she would have the child. Detective Gonzalez said that he understands that she was threatening the real estate deal before she said she was pregnant. Clayton said yes, and then she then went to the Arizona State Department of Real Estate and tried to get his license revoked. Gonzalez asked if she had already said that she was pregnant at the time. Clayton said it was all around the same time, adding that he cut off all communication and blocked her after day 8. Prior to that, Laura said she could potentially be fertile and pregnant. At that point, Clayton told her he was no longer going to represent her regarding real estate. Then on day 11, she said she was pregnant. Laura was still moving forward with the ADRE, alleging he was violating his fiduciary responsibility, which they obviously found that he did not. So, okay. Let me get to the end of this part of the document, and then we'll line up the Jan thing. Let's see. Clayton then reported that he has a letter that she sent, which he believes is an extortion letter. Laura said about a month ago that he either dropped this case or she was going to sue him for $1.4 million. Clayton viewed this as a threat that she was going to sue him regarding the real estate deals that he dropped the ball on unless he dropped this case. Clayton said that this is in writing. So the thing is, like, she's threatening to sue over these real estate deals he dropped the ball on over money that she didn't even have, as we know from the bankruptcy case. He said that she was going to get deposed. She didn't want to go to the deposition, so she sent this letter to Clayton's lawyer. What? How does that make sense? I asked who has the original letter. Clayton believed his attorney did. At that point, she couldn't send anything directly to Clayton. Gonzalez asked if it was the only time that Laura talked about suing him for money. Clayton said that at one point Laura mentioned she had unlimited funds. So she threatened him, saying she would sue him and she would win due to this. Oof. And unfortunately, that was been true up to this point, because she's been very savvy, like pretending that she's rich. Like the family has been very savvy at pretending they have the money to keep up with this lifestyle. But actually, they don't. And that's why they're now declaring bankruptcy. So, it's Cynic in Chief, thank you for the $5. Without a deal, this cray-cray will be retirement age when she gets out of jail once the AZ court and probable bankruptcy court sentences are done. Yeah, I don't know how it's going to go with the bankruptcy court stuff. So, like, I can't imagine that she's not going to be significantly older when she gets out of jail. I guess she could try to fake pregnancies at that point, but, like, it won't work because she'll be, like, old AF, you know? So... Betty Lou's mom, sorry. Thank you for the $2. 50 Shades of Lauren. No 50 Shades of Lauren. Okay. Let's see. Detective Gonzalez asked if this was a paternity case. Clayton said she wanted him to drop the entire case. Yeah, okay. I said that I understand she wanted to drop the suit after she allegedly miscarried, but he continued on with the case because he wanted to prove that he was not the parent of the alleged pregnancy, and that he was also looking for her to be responsible for his attorney's fees. Clayton said that Laura went public in September because he was trying to convince her to drop the suit. Laura refused and stated she was going to go public, which she did. Laura then kept filing for mediations in family court. At one of the mediations, Clayton told her that she needed to take a paternity test or submit ultrasounds or medical evidence to show that she was pregnant. Laura agreed to a paternity test, but nothing happened, and the case was just sitting there. It then became public, so Clayton's mission then became to obtain a finding of non-paternity. Clayton told us that Laura had the narrative to begin with, and everyone believed that he was guilty. But then the narrative changed, and Laura wanted to close the case. Clayton said at this point she had already attacked his reputation, and he wanted to clear his name. I said there were 2 other men before him. Clayton said there were 3. I said I was only aware of Michael and Greg. Clayton said there's another guy. And again, like I said earlier, at this point, given this document and where we're at, I usually avoid using these guys' names, but I believe he may be on the witness list, and also I've heard it a lot. I've just refused to use it up to a point. But now that this is getting like way more national attention, I'm going to go ahead and just say the guy's name. So he says, Clayton, there's another guy, Matt Mulvey, but he doesn't want to have anything to do with this. Clayton said he doesn't know much about Mulvey's story, but it sounded as if he was dragged into a similar situation where she claimed she was pregnant. I asked Clayton if he knows Greg Gillespie personally. Clayton said he does. I asked if he met him as a result of this case or if he knew him beforehand. Clayton met him due to the case. Clayton told us that when his case went public, Gillespie's girlfriend messaged him and told him that he's not the only one and told him to look up Gillespie's case. Clayton looked it up and found that it was a near carbon copy of what was happening with him. Okay. One sec, guys. Sorry, I had my mic off. Hey, Peggy, what's up? I hope you're doing good. Say hi to Mike's mom, guys. You were having a procedure, I think, back when I was in San Francisco, but hope you're doing good. So. I miss you too, dude. All right. Let's see. What's going on here? Where did I leave off? Clayton added that the text messages were as if they were copied and pasted. Clayton said there was also a doctored ultrasound in Gillespie's case. It appeared that Laura purchased an ultrasound from Fiverr, adding that you could see the watermark on the document. So no wonder they also added charges for Greg's case. Laura claimed that Gillespie hacked her computer and sent that to himself. Clayton said that made no sense because he didn't believe that she was pregnant. Clayton continued by telling us that Gillespie has a phone call where Laura refers to the ultrasound image and tells him that she's pregnant and to look at the image. Clayton said that he and Gillespie, there's a word missing there, but it says Clayton said that he and Gillespie and shared stories. I guess they met and shared stories. I mean, we know that, but Clayton said he found out about Mike Maricini through Gillespie and through the court hearing. Okay. I asked if there's any reason to believe the ultrasound she used against Gillespie is the same she used against him. Clayton said, no, they're different. Gillespie reversed Google image search and found that photo from a blog post from years back. Gillespie brought that to court, and it was compared to the other side by side. It was ultimately dropped. So that's where I get confused between the ultrasound. And, like, no wonder I get confused because there's so many fake ultrasounds, but, like, about which one was the vanishing twin ultrasound, which one was the Fiverr ultrasound. I can't remember which one was which and in which case at this point. I'm going to have to do a little refresher, maybe pay more attention to this document when I do a full read, because I'm not going to be able to get through all 118 pages today, but oh my Lord, don't talk to me. Sorry, my phone went off. Anyways, hang on. I got a notification from JFC, so I want to look at it. It says, after going through the Maricopa County Attorney's investigation report, here are some interesting points regarding the evidence against con artist, abuser, and pathological liar, Laura Michelle Owens. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll read this in a little bit, but all right. Okay, I said that I understand Laura took 5 pregnancy tests, 4 were urine, 1 was blood. Clayton said that Laura told him that she did 11 HCG tests at one point. Wait, if you know you're pregnant, if you truly believe you're pregnant and that you have a positive pregnancy test, you go to a doctor and get an ultrasound done and all that, why are you taking 11 fucking pregnancy tests? Like, that's insane. That's insane. That's excessive. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Clayton said he did have Laura take a urine test at his home. And by the way, like, maybe if you've never been pregnant before and you're not expecting to be pregnant, that wouldn't be insane. If you have like a lot of anxiety and you're like, oh my God, whatever. But like the 11 tests for somebody who claims to have been pregnant like a million times before, fuck off. All right. Okay. I said that Laura indicated that he witnessed her urinate on the stick. However, he reported she had stage fright, so the door was closed and he didn't actually see her. Clayton said that she walked into the bathroom wearing tight-fitting pants and she wasn't carrying anything with her unless she shoved something up there, which I know that sounds paranoid to people who may not know the situation, but if you do know the situation, you know that's very likely. But actually what we know now is that she just was injecting herself with HCG, so she knew she would pass any pregnancy test she took because it's all HCG. Like the urine tests, they just test for levels of HCG. That's why people who are truly like are checking to see if they're pregnant, they go to a doctor, they get a blood test, and they follow that up with an ultrasound. But everything involved here was fake. The urine test, the blood test, the ultrasounds, all fake. So, you know, just nutty. Just nutty. Could she have been taking multiple P tests because she was trying the same scam with someone else? I don't think so, honestly, because, like, think about it. Like, if she went and even got one positive test and she was trying to scam multiple people, she could just scam both people with the same document. She could just use the same HCG test record and send it to multiple men and be like, I just had a confirmation that I'm having your baby, basically. Like, you know what I mean? So, all right. Okay. I said that Laura indicated that he witnessed her urinate on the stick. However, he reported that she had stage fright, so the door was closed, and he didn't actually see her. Clayton said that she walked into the bathroom wearing tight-fitting pants, and she wasn't carrying anything with her. unless she shoved something out there. Clayton's plan was to sit there and watch her, but she said she couldn't pee with him there watching. Clayton said, well, you can suck the guy's... Never mind. Okay. Clayton said that he closed the door, and then at one point he pulled it back open, and she said, whoa, whoa, whoa. Clayton then apologized and closed the door and left it shut. She then came out with it. Clayton said that Laura was already anticipating that he would want her to take the test. She told him that she brought a test with her, and she told him that this adding that she would use his if he had one. So, like, she showed up at his house, and she always tries to say, like, he ambushed me by trying to make me take a pregnancy test, but, like, she knew that he wanted her to take a pregnancy test. Otherwise, why would she have one in her purse or her bag or what the fuck ever? Okay. She told him she brought a test, blah, blah. Clayton said the test showed that she was pregnant, but he believes that she was taking medications that would affect the test. I asked if things were still on a friendly basis. I'm sorry, I just thought about the chipmunk audio thing from Omar again. Okay. Where she said she was pregnant and he needed to support her. And he said that he doesn't believe her. Clayton said he was trying to pull information from her and trying to catch her in a lie, trying to get her to drop it. He was trying to play it nice to see if she would let it go. Clayton said that he told her to come over that night so they could talk, and he was trying to let her down easy to understand that they were not compatible and they have nothing in common. It didn't go that way. After she saw the pregnancy test, she asked him to just hold her like she was pregnant. Clayton said he told her to come over that night so they could talk. And she was like, just hold me. I'm pregnant. That's so creepy. Like, if you ask me, and I know people don't, I mean, there's limitations to this term, but if you're like pretending to have a medical condition to try to get someone to touch you or to sleep with you or something like that, like, that seems sexually abusive to me. Sorry. Like, I know it's emotionally abusive, and I know a lot of people won't agree with that, but that does, in fact, seem sexually abusive to me. So, all right. Okay. And that's just an opinion, guys. The next day, Clayton realized that something was wrong. He sent Laura a message telling her that it's likely that she's altering her HCG by taking some type of medication. Laura then told him that she showed him the test, and how dare you? How dare you is what she does, because she's a gaslighting, emotionally manipulative bitch. But, whatever. Let's see. 3 days prior to the ultrasound, Laura contacted Clayton and told him she didn't feel safe considering the way he had been acting, so she was going to reschedule it. What the fuck? Oh, God. I'm a little bit behind, but I'm reading a comment now. I'm a little behind. I took a pregnancy test every day until 1 week past my missed period because I was afraid of the miscarriage, and I wanted to watch the lines get darker. Oh, yeah, no, I understand that. I'm just saying, like, this lady has pretended to have been pregnant about 1 million times, and so at that point, you would think that she would just go to a doctor. Like, if you've been pregnant like once or twice and you're just taking tests to confirm and you're just like waiting for your doctor's appointment, that's one thing. But this lady's like, oh yeah, I went to the hospital or I went to the doctor right away. But also at the same time, I took 11 pregnancy tests before I went to the doctor 2 days from when I got the thing. And it's like, you were clearly trying to document a record of like having positive pregnancy tests given your scam record. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know. It's just weird. Like, I'm not saying like everybody who does a bunch of fucking pregnancy tests is like lying about it. I'm just saying like this person in this context who claims to have been pregnant, like 7 times before with twins, would not be maybe taking 1 million pregnancy tests rather than going to get a legitimate ultrasound. So it's just different. I just want to be clear. I'm not trying to shame anybody or anything like that. So, okay, let's see. Wait, who's rubbing someone's back unprompted? I don't know what that is. Anyways, Clayton realized something was wrong. He sent her a message that it's likely she's altering HCG. She's like, how dare you? Clayton then told her that they should cut off all communication until she takes an ultrasound. She said she was going to take it. Asked if Laura told him when she was going to take it or if it was a surprise. She did say she would set it up when she was 9 weeks pregnant. Okay, this said they were 3 or 4 weeks in, so it was like 5 weeks later, and he told her to stop communicating with him until she has the ultrasound. When it came time to take the ultrasound, Clayton told Laura that he wanted her to FaceTime him so he could see the doctor at the ultrasound. Laura agreed. 3 days prior to the ultrasound, Laura contacted Clayton and told him that she didn't feel safe considering the way he had been acting. Okay, so I saw this already, but Clayton then told us that Laura actually rescheduled the ultrasound twice. The first time because she decided she wanted her sister there. The second was her sister even around. The second time was because she feared that he would show up and harm her. If you're in the middle of the appointment and he doesn't know where you are and you FaceTime him for 5 minutes to show him that it's real, he's not going to have time to show up and harm you. Get over it. Also, she wasn't pregnant, so she's lying. Clayton says that he thinks she gave him a name, the location of the doctor. When it came time, she never told him. Okay. I asked if it was here or in California. Clayton said it was here. She went to California to get abortion medication. Okay. Laura sent a photo of that and her name on the bottle. Clayton said it appears that she actually got abortion medication, which I guess she could have. Well, she was testing positive on HCG tests, right? And then because she injected herself with HCG, and she could have said, I'm pregnant, I want to have an abortion. So Clayton said she went to California to get and take the medication. This was at Planned Parenthood of Santa Barbara. So she was saying Santa Barbara at one point. Gonzalez asked if there was the name of the prescribing doctor on the bottle. Clayton said he has the images and didn't think there was a doctor's name on it. Okay. Well, that's weird. Because prescription bottles have the doctor's name on it. Okay. I said, I understand she was initially going to get the ultrasound here, but then she went to California. Clayton says she claims she got one in California at Planned Parenthood, but she never showed it to him. The one that surfaced under Bonnie Platter with Beretta Law came to him via a Zoom call. Laura claimed that she was the ultrasound, that was the ultrasound from Planned Parenthood, but it said Smill on it. Clayton said that's the one she claimed to have had done at Planned Parenthood. During the last court hearing, Laura reported that she went to the Planned Parenthood in Santa Barbara, but said she actually went to the one in Los Angeles. This was after Clayton's attorney contacted the Santa Barbara office. I told Clayton that I was under the impression it was Mission Viejo, then it was that she was staying in Mission Viejo. Clayton indicated this is correct and that she kept bouncing it around. Well, I'm sure she said it was from a lot of places, right? Like, this is nutty. Okay. Somebody says, poor Nicholas, lucky Nicholas. Both. Both for sure. Hang on one sec. Okay, give me 1 minute to check what my boss just sent me, and then I'll be right back, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, I have nothing left to do there, so we have a little bit more time here, but not too much more time. So, hi, I'm not following this one, but wanted to stop by and like and comment for Lauren. Well, thank you, G. I appreciate that. I don't know if I saw this one yet. Idiot Wind, you're being a new member. I like your username. So, all right. Okay. We'll do that. I asked about the abortion medication and if she was trying to make a deal with him. Clayton told us that she was trying to get him caught up in abortion coercion, which is what she did with Craig Gillespie. I asked about that. Clayton said that in Gillespie's case, at one point he said, take the fucking pills. Laura then used that, saying she did take them and that it killed one of the fetuses, but she wasn't sure about the other. Clayton said this was her way of holding on by telling Gillespie that she might be carrying one. Okay, I think we know all this already, so I'm not going to... I have to skim through some of this now because I have to get back to work, so let's see. Why don't I just go to the Jan pages and then we'll stop at 30, page 30, right? So let me write that down. And I'll move to the Jan pages here. Let's see. 6, 7. Oh, here we go. All right. Detective Gonzalez met with Jan Black Owens. This location is a rental home owned by Owens, used as an Airbnb. Okay, we met this location at the request of Jan Black. That's so stupid. Fuck me, dude. You know what? I'll come back and answer that in a minute. We'll just keep going. This audio recorded. The following is a summary. Jan Black Owens. Miss Black Owens invited us in and identified herself to us. We sat at the dining room table for the interview. Miss Black Owens told us that she didn't want this contract to be noted. A contact, sorry, to be noted. I explained that it would have to be noted. One sec. Ms. Black Owens indicated that she understood. I said that I understand that she wanted to put this all in perspective for us. She indicated this was correct and said it's become complicated because they have thrown in all the elements from the past. Ms. Black Owens said that she presumes that we are focused on the Clayton Necker part. I indicated that this is correct, adding that it mainly concerns the court hearings and depositions. Okay, whatever. Ms. Black Owens told us that this happened with Clayton because Laura wanted to get into short-term rentals. Laura was interested in seller finance properties, blah, 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 blah. Okay. This is what Jan said. Laura reached out to Clayton. They had a connection. Clayton invited Laura Owens to his place. Ms. Black Owens said that Laura specifically told Clayton this wasn't a booty call. Ms. Black Owens added that Laura had not had sexual relations for a year, which is not true, by the way. She had sex with someone else like right before that. This was the aftermath of her being attacked in Hoboken. Laura told Clayton that she was not on birth control. Ms. Black Owens reported that Clayton told Laura that he just wanted to come over and cuddle as he was feeling lonely. Clayton talked to Laura about having been the Bachelor and that he was portrayed as being a villain on the show because he lied to the girls at the end. No, actually, he was portrayed as being a villain because he was exceptionally honest to the girls at the end. It was to a fault. According to Miss Black Owens, Laura told Clayton that she wanted to make it clear that she didn't want to have sex. Okay. Laura had been staying at the casita, blah, blah, blah. Told her mother she was going over to Clayton's. She made it clear she didn't want to have... Wait. So Jan says Laura told them that she was going over to Clayton's house, and then she made it clear she didn't want to have sex. Oh, to him. So Laura's like, by the way, Mom, I'm going over to Clayton's house. I definitely don't want to have sex with him. Like, who fucking says that to their parents, right? Laura then went to Clayton's home. Clayton, who was already high, by the way. He offered her a gummy, and she took it. According to Laura, Clayton was really, really high. Laura told her mother that they were making out, and then one thing leads to another, and he had his fingers down there. Clayton then asked if he could stick it in for 30 seconds. Who says that? Laura told him no. Clayton then asked for 25 seconds. She said no. Clayton counted down to 20, then 15, all of which Laura said no. Literally none of this ever happened. It has never been alleged to have happened. She just made this shit up. According to Jan, Laura felt his penis was inside of her. Laura told Clayton she told him no. So there was nothing that happened before that. Just all of a sudden, Laura feels a penis inside of her. Right. Miss Black Owens believes they were on a couch. Miss Black Owens said Laura was really upset when she came home the next morning. Miss Black Owens stated it wasn't a violent type of rape thing, considering what she had gone through in Hoboken. So they're talking about Laura with Andrew, who is probably totally innocent as well, by the way. Miss Black Owens said, by the way, a violent type of rape thing, considering what she had been through in Hoboken, but she doesn't mention Mike Maritini, who she accused of violent rape. Miss Black Owens said Clayton and Laura looked at a couple of properties, and Laura had an investor lined up. Laura told Clayton she wanted to make offers on 2 places, and Clayton agreed to write them up and had Laura sign them, assuming that Clayton would submit them. Okay. We know about the real estate shit. Miss Black Owens said Laura began suffering from morning sickness and was very fatigued. Okay, she took a pregnancy test. It was positive. Laura reported she wanted to make sure, so she wanted to have it medically done. So she went to Banner Urgent Care. Also, at the same time, she was injecting herself with HCG, but whatever. Initially, Clayton wanted for them to figure out what to do. Laura told Clayton she really didn't want to have an abortion, but also didn't want to raise a child with a confrontational father. Lady. Miss Black Owens reported that over the course of a few weeks, Clayton went from her having the child and raising it to having nothing to do with it to putting it up for adoption. Then it went to him having full custody of the child. She would have nothing to do with it, and he would take the child to his parents' house in Missouri. Miss Black Owens said that Clayton was flipping back and forth. At one point, Clayton told Laura his parents thought it was a sign from God. Okay. How long is this? Fuck me, dude. I want to read this, but at the same time, it's like I got to get back to work. So hang on. Clayton invited Laura over. Laura went, bringing a pregnancy test with her. Blah blah blah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You know what I'll do? I got to get back to work, so I'll call you guys. Not call you guys. I will not call you guys. I will stream after 5 p.m. How about that? I'm going to set a stream to... We'll do it right now, actually. I'll set it up right now. Okay, let's schedule it for 5. We'll do like 5:15 or something. No, let's do 5:30 to be safe. And then I'll upload the same thumbnail here. How about that? And I'll mark it for you guys. Okay, so when I end this stream, it's going to redirect you to the next one, which will start at 5:15 p.m. or 5:30 p.m. Sorry. And then we'll go over Jan's stuff and some more of this stuff after that. And then I have a busy night ahead of me. So, but right now I have to get back to work for a couple hours until the next time. So, I don't know if you guys can hear the dinging and all that over there, but it's apparently getting pretty crazy, which is interesting because I have nothing in my work queue right now, which is why I'm sitting here. But, okay. Okay. Jesus Christ. This is insane. Okay. No, I think we're all good, all set up here. So, all right, I'm gonna take off, guys. I gotta get back to work, and then I'll talk to you guys soon. So, bye. Yes, pesky job getting in the way. I know. See you later. Thanks.